Good morning. Happy Monday. Can you believe it's Monday? What is this, the last week of the month? I haven't looked at the calendar. It's the 22nd. So we have 6 days left. Yeah. Crazy, right? Welcome to Odessa Rose Creates. I'm going to look at the calendar. When does the first fall on? Next Monday. So yeah, for last whole week of February. I always like February because I always think it goes so fast. It's like boom, all of a sudden it's Valentine's Day, and then bang, all of a sudden it's March. So, and then I feel like it's spring. So that's always awesome. Hey, welcome to Odessa Rose Creates. I'm Robin Schmidt, and I'm an independent Couture designer, which means I get to share the love of silkscreen printing with chalk paste. These silk screens are reusable, and we create everything from print clothes to ceramics to signs to, oh my gosh, it goes on and on. Artwork, just anything you can silk screen on a smooth surface. We're going to be able to do that right here with our reusable silk screen transfers, chalk paste, and or ink products. So welcome. I'm going to find myself here on my Facebook page. Make sure you can see me okay. Hey, yesterday I got to finally do a class, and then what happens? Wake up and it's snowing. I mean, we got like a lot of snow. It was very wet, heavy, deep snow. But I made it downtown Omaha, which probably took me a good half hour to get down there. And I only had one person able to show up because of the weather. So I was appreciative of that, and I just enjoyed teaching her. I like doing one-on-one anyway, so that was good. And she is working at home, and of course I'm at home. So I know I like talked her leg off because I have like someone to talk to besides my husband or my kids. So it was fun to meet her, and I appreciate her coming out. And she did an awesome job on making a welcome to our porch sign. So if you didn't see that, check out the post in my Odessa Rose Creates page and see what a great job she did. Good morning, Devin. Good morning, Debbie. Sabrina, hello. Good morning, Darla. Hi, hi, hi. Say hi if you're watching. So the gal that puts on the craft event, it's called Hibernate and Create. She does like a weekend event down at the, I think it's called Hot Shops. It's a big old, must have been like maybe a factory or a warehouse at one time, and now it's divided into rooms, and artists have different spaces down there, and they create and they sell their products down there, and they have classrooms, and that's where we did Hibernate and Create. And I got this mug for it for teaching, and I got these cute little stickers. Perfectly imperfect. Isn't that adorable? And I don't know what I'm going to do with these. Here's the little logo for Hibernate and Create. Kelly Sweet is the one who organizes it. And she is a jewelry artist. And so they have a website, hibernateandcreate.com. You could check out all the goodness. Let's see. Retreats, workshops, classes, meetups, crafty kits, crafty mixer, challenges, swaps, and more. So it's kind of a fun thing to do in Omaha if you ever are able to do that. And it looks like this mug changes colors when you put something hot in it. So I'll have to do that sometime. But I love it. So thank you, Kelly, for that. And thanks for inviting me to teach and create with a wonderful gal. The other two gals, I'm going to try to make up their class because it's non-refundable. So I'll be getting a hold of them, and maybe we can do a one-on-one with them right here in my home studio. So, all right, today I'm going to work with the new transfer. This is called Family Beside Us. So it says, bless the food before us, the family beside us, and the love between us. And it's got a little fork and knife right there. I'm gonna swipe off the comments so you can see. Okay, so I put a link in the description that you can go right to my website and get the link or the items for these 2 transfers and the diagonal board. So this is the board we worked on in our class yesterday. And I need a box knife. So we're going to kind of do what we did in our class, but a little bit different. I love our diagonal boards. These are from Couture. It's also in that link above. It's a gray washed diagonal palette, and you can actually create on both sides. This side works great for putting little handles on here and making a tray. If you want to do that, I've done that a few times. But yeah, we're actually going to put some paint on it first, kind of like what we did in the class. Actually, just going to set it right on here. And I like to put some jar paste so I can raise this up a little bit, so then I can wash or paint around it. I'm going to apply a little bit of brown paint and then dry it, and then a little bit of the Raw Silk Off-White Fusion Mineral Paint and distress it. And then I'll just let you wait and see what we're going to do next, the next step. Haven't explained that one yet, so we'll wait and see. Surprise, surprise. Okay, so I'm going to just apply a little brown paint on. And this is, I want it to look worn and aged. So like layers of paint, like it's been painted many times. It's dirty, it's grungy a little bit. So I'm just going to apply some brown paint, and mostly around the edge. So when I distress it, you might see layers of the brown. So it doesn't have to be perfect. And this is just, well, a lot of times I'll go and buy Miss Tints samples at your local hardware store. I think this one I have a big gallon of misprint brown paint out in my garage, and I just refill these little jars up to take them to classes. So I have no idea what color this is. It's just brown, and it's just some wall paint, latex, some kind of paint. Doesn't matter. Just pick a brown. And make sure you get this side here. And even if some of the gray shows through, that's just another layer, so that's cool. All right, so I'm gonna put the brush in the water and get some heat on this and dry it up real quick. Kind of want to show you from start to finish. Yo, my hair. I get my hair cut Wednesday. It's like, woo, look at it. It's crazy. Crazy hair. It grows, like, when it grows, I feel like it grows really fast the last week before I have a hair appointment. Devon, you used my Fusion Mineral Paint yesterday. I really like it. That's great. It is great paint. This is just latex paint, but I'm going to put Fusion on top of it. You're doing the very same transfer for friends. Yes, that it would make an excellent housewarming gift, right? We're going to do something to the background besides this paint, so hang with me. Get this dried up. What's everyone else doing this week? I'm getting my hair cut. Is that it? That's all I got. We're going to get above freezing, I think, today, so we'll get some of that snow and ice melted off. All that snow on our roofs are making huge icicles off the houses and making big ice patches on the sidewalks, and my husband's good at keeping up with that, getting that picked up. Alright, we're getting there, still a little wet. Pretty good. A little wet. Tomorrow we have our new surfaces are going to be available to order tomorrow from Couture. The cute little new cutting board, the bunny cutouts, the vintage truck cutout. They're going to be available tomorrow, so that's exciting. All right, I'm going to do the Fusion Mineral Paint now, and this will be more of a fuller coverage. But I'm not going to go all the way to the edge. I kind of want that brush stroke, worn brush stroke look on the ends. So we got these boards in here diagonally, and like really right here, it dips down a little bit. It's not even. So that always tells me right away that, you know, not all of my silkscreen prints are going to be perfect because of the non-smooth, even surface. So always expect that if you're in that situation. Make sure you are okay with that before you use a surface that is not smooth. This is kind of fun because you can be almost sloppy, like, you know, it doesn't have to be perfect, perfectly painted. I am going to get that lump of paint off though. All right, I'll probably just go with one coat. I really do want this pretty worn looking, so I might just go with the one coat. And back to drying. Just dried up. I'll hold this up because I know we got some glare going on here. So it's just messy painted. Here's the sides. The palette board is smooth, but the different boards may not be in the exact same plane. Like, so there's individual boards, and sometimes the boards are uneven. The boards themselves are smooth, but they can be placed, you know, with a little bit of difference in the levels. Okay, so yeah, the palette board has smooth boards. I'm gonna get that wet paint off the back. Keep running my hand in it. Okay, so they're individual boards. See those? And there may be highs and lows in the seam. Like this board here is a little bit higher than this board. So same on this side. You might have, it may not be in the perfectly smooth where in the cracks. Like in them, it may go up and down. So when you silk screen on top of that difference, you might get a little bit of a bleed out, which is, I think, is cool, especially on a vintage looking frame or board. So I'm not worried about it. I'm just warning you that when you have, you know, if you had one big board that's smooth or a canvas that's all one level, you're going to have a smoother or a sharper print on your silk screen. These boards they can be slightly higher, so you may have a little bit of difference in that. Does that make sense? Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little wax on, I think. And I think I might go with the dark wax. I got to get my rag out of this can. Okay, so I'm using finishing wax base. This is a dark, special dark, which means it'll grunge it up a little bit, make it a little bit dirty. I'm gonna take it off this box now. All right. And I want to wax this because why? Remember? So our transfers release up off of the surface easier. They won't stick to that paint, especially since it's not, you know, really cured yet, the paint. So the stickiness of the transfer could possibly stick to the paint, pull up the paint. You never know what it's going to do. And another reason for waxing is if you do have a bleed out that you want to get off of your board, or you want off the edge of your transfer or something like that, you can clean it up easier if you have a little bit of wax on your surface. So this just kind of yellowed and dinged it down a little bit. I even like it when the dark wax collects in the cracks of the boards, because I think that makes it even more worn and the dirty look. And it kind of pronounces the cracks a little bit more, because it gathers in the cracks. Okay, so we got some wax on here. And it's just dinged it up, and you can see maybe you can see the cracks better because that dark wax is kind of collected in the cracks. So it kind of makes them stand out even more, which I like on this particular piece. Now, I am going to sand the edges, but I think I'm going to do my background transfer first. And I'm going to use the fork and knife from Pantry's Open. And we're going to lay them diagonal across with the boards in a either grayish. So we're going to make like a pattern of these. I love these fork and knife, or fork and spoon. So I'm thinking about doing like spoon, fork, spoon, fork, spoon. And I think I want to do like these two, one here and one here. And then we'll do like forks and just kind of random patterns. So we'll see how it looks. I'm going to grab some chalk paste, I think I'm either going to do Dune or Grayish. I don't want them to be really loud and prominent, because we're going to put this over the top, and this one most likely will be in black on top. So the spoon and fork is the background, kind of like how I did. Let me show you. Like the laundry sign has the farmhouse tile in the background, and then the laundry company on top. But we're going to do the fork and spoon as the background. I think it'll be cool. We shall see. All right. And what do I want to do? I could do like kind of a mixture of both, of the Dune and the Grayish, and it'll give it some highs and lows on the silverware. So we could try that. Good morning, Christy. Like my shirt? Oh, this was actually silk screened on it this a couple years ago. Fane. My maiden name is Fane. So Fane, and we had Fane Farms. So I made those. I made those a while back, probably in 2018. And then I had this shirt packed with samples of stuff that I took to classes, and I like forgot about it. So I found it the other day, and I thought, oh, I'm gonna start wearing that. So, okay, we got Dune and Grayish chalk paste. Add a little water to this one. And we're going to apply both of them just kind of randomly, just to give the silverware some highs and lows. The Dune won't, show up as well on this, but like I said, this is background, so you don't want it to be really strong. just gonna kind of slap some on there in the grayish, and then I'm gonna pick up some dune and just kind of work it all in. And then I'm going to pick this transfer up and put it this way. And I'm going to take it clean transfer. I'm kind of pressing it down with another clean squeegee just to press it on. Okay. And then same thing. Let's bring it down here and do one, because we're going to do every board spoon, fork, spoon, fork. Just kind of pressing it on right now. One more up here. Down with our spoon. For some reason I smeared a bunch right there. I don't even know how I did that, but I'm gonna just take a wet wipe and pick that up, and then I'll show it to you real quick, and then we'll do our fork. Show you, because I know I still have my glare I need to deal with. So there's the spoons on the boards. We got 4 of them. So now on the opposite boards we're going to put some forks. I'm going to dry this just so in case I don't, or in case I bump up to it. Yeah, I still need to put like a canopy of fabric or something up here to cut the glare. Okay, now I can show you. See them? All right, so now we're going to do forks in the other areas. So the fork and spoon is from the Pantries Open. I'm using both Dune and Greige chalk paste to get some highs and lows of the silverware. And we're doing a really light color because this is the undercoat. This is the under layer. We will put we'll be putting this on top. Okay. I'm just taking an empty squeegee, clean squeegee, and pressing it down to press down the transfer so it sticks and smooths out. And then I'm grabbing some Greige, and then I'm going to grab some Dune. And yes, it's mixing, but I'm not too worried. I still put it back in the jar. I think I'm gonna have to wash this. It's starting to not come off very well, so I'm gonna clean it real quick. Too much paste getting stuck in the silk screen, so let's clean it up. Continue on. Normally I would just go to the sink and clean it, but since I'm on live, I'm just going to clean it here with some water and Lysol wipe. I think that's pretty good. Dry it. Just laying it in my towel and pressing out the moisture to dry it up. Okay. Here's where we're at so far. So I got another fork to put here, and then one up here in this corner. So you can see them on there. Now we're done doing that. I'm gonna dry it, and I'm gonna sand the board a little bit, the edges, and all that. So there it is, the background. Our forks and spoons. We're done with this paste. I'm going to put it away. I think it's going to be cute when it's all done. What do y'all think? Hi, Claudia. All right, is there any way to tone down the light? I'm going to work on the lighting. I know. I got a huge, powerful light, which I love when I'm working, but I know it gives a glare. So that's why I'm holding it up. So there's the background. Okay. So we're going to dry really well. When you move the transfer and use it again, I always have a mess on the back. Well, make sure your paste isn't too thin because it might be seeping under. So that might be what's causing that. And I have that too. Sometimes it gets on the back side. So just check it. Otherwise, you're going to have to wipe it off in between uses. Okay, so I'm going to take some sandpaper and I'm going to sand the edges, and even the chalk paste I'm going to sand a little bit, make it a little bit more smooth for our next transfer, and to get a little bit more worn look to it. Sand the edges, your corners. Don't forget to sand like this corner, you know. You don't want just the top edges. You want even this bottom edge. Sand it. The back side edge. You could even sand the side. If you really, depending on how worn you want it, but this one's going to look pretty vintage, so I'm going to wear it down a little bit. Corners, all the edges. Top edge and the back edge. Okay, now sand this a little bit. And that really smooths down the chalk paste. You can still see it. I mean, if you do it more in one area, you're going to wear it down completely off, possibly. And that's okay if you want that worn look. I'm going to sand on the highs and low boards to show the wear on that. So the cracks of the palette board, sand those down a little bit so they look worn. Pretty good. Now we got a lot of dust. I'm gonna clean that up first and then I'll wipe my board off even better. You can see it. It's all over my iPad. It's everywhere. I'm gonna try to gather it first and then I'll wipe it up. Whew. Get my iPad. Disaster. Okay. Wipe this down. Wipe all the dust off. Lightly put my wet wipe on there, especially with the chalk. You don't want to soften your chalk up and smear it since it hasn't really cured. So now, here's our board with our background. You can see the brown is sanded down a little bit into the gray. Okay. Let me get up closer. So there's our background. Now, we could apply a little bit more wax on top of it, especially since this is a brand new transfer. And, you know, I don't know how sticky it is yet. I haven't opened it. But we can put just a little bit more wax on, just to play it safe. I'm still going to go with the dark wax. And that wax can kind of get absorbed into that lighter chalk and even intensify the color a little bit, which is kind of good. Okay. So again, you probably can't tell, but it did darken it a little bit, the spoons and forks, because I put the dark wax on. All right, so now we are ready for this. And And I'm probably going to do what I've done with the last couple signs I made similar to this. I'm going to use black and brown chalk paste in the lettering, swirled into the lettering, just to kind of make the black not so black, if that makes sense. But first I'm going to lay this upside down and give it some fuzzing. So I'm going to grab my little fuzz towels. That one and this one. Even though I put some wax on, which helps release the transfer off of your board, I am going to still fuzz this new transfer because it's pretty sticky. Alright, I'm going to get my bark and black velvet chalk paste. Give them a mix. I just used these yesterday, but I'm going to see how they're doing. Hydrate them just a little bit, make them a little bit more creamier, not so thick. So make sure you get that water mixed in well. Again, I gotta wipe my nose. All right, let's flip this over. Of course, this transfer fits perfectly on this board, so it's easy to place. Now we're just gonna press it down, press any air pockets out. Probably do a little paste and peel. We'll do a section, paste it, skim it down, lift up the transfer, and then do the bottom half. So I'm going to apply some black and brown just around the transfer here. A squeegee. Usually I kind of just S it down like this. Do S's. Come back up and hit the areas I missed. Alright, I'm just going to skim it down a little bit, make sure it's pressed into that silk screen. I'm going diagonal because of the boards. I'm going to pick this up, I'm going to lay it back down and continue on. Press that down, make sure it's down there okay. skim it down to a nice thin coat. I'm working with the diagonal of the boards. And I think I got it all. So now we can pick it all up. Super cute. I'm gonna lay this on the backer. And there it is. All right, I'm gonna dry that. I think see the browns and the blacks in it. Just gives it a little bit more dimension. Got those cool spoons and forks in the background. Looks pretty cool. I'm gonna dry it. Yes, thanks Karen. Carla, thank you. Rosemary, hello. Daniela. Daniela, yeah. Debbie, thanks. Turned out really good. Perfectly imperfect. Is that what my sticker said that I got? Here it is. Perfectly imperfect. Right? That's what's great about making a vintage frame. You can embrace all the imperfections because that's what you want. So there it is. And even like when I was sanding, I got this weird marking right there, but that's cool. Gives it character. Yeah, pretty neat. Love it. So there you go. Check out the link up above if you need to purchase either one of these transfers, this one or the fork and spoon one. And the palette board is also in that link, so check those out. And then you just need Greige and Dune, or you can pick one or the other. I used both in the fork and spoon, Greige and Dune. And then I used Black Velvet and Bark in the top lettering. So you could just use black, and you could just use Dune or Greige if you don't want to get all four colors or don't have all four colors. But I do think the mix of them is what really gives it more personality. So there you go. Thanks for chalking with me today, and I'll try to get on tomorrow again. Wednesday morning I got to get a haircut, and then I'll see what the rest of the week brings. Let me see if you have any more questions. Black-brown combo makes it less stark. Exactly, Debbie. What color are the utensils? Are the Dune and the Greige. All right, and go back and watch the beginning if you missed it. We started out with the gray diagonal palette board. We put 2 colors of paint on it, 2 colors of chalk paste for the silverware, 2 colors of chalk paste for the sentiment on the top. So I'm all about layering and dimension. So get some sandpaper, and there you go. All right. Have a great day. Get back on here, and I will chalk with you later. Bye.